Hey guys, so this is the second installment, ERAS Part 2. Today I'll be talking about getting a letter of recommendation, LORs. Everybody knows about them. We all need at least 3. So I just thought, this would be the second part I talk about. Just a disclaimer, I don't really know much about observerships and externships, so this specifically applies for actual clinical rotations that you do. So this was applied to AMGs or Caribbean IMG students. I'm sorry, I don't really know much about it, and yeah, I didn't want to just go around blabbing about things I don't know. So first off, work really hard in the rotation when especially if you want to ask for a letter of recommendation later. Make an effort throughout the rotation. Don't be one of those people who slacks off for like a 4-week rotation. You slack off for the first 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden the last week you're like a gunner. One of the things that I would say pay attention to is don't be a gunner. Don't be the student who puts everyone else down and tries to make yourself look better by that. Be a team player, because I think that's really important in residency. You have to be able to work with other people. Tell them, about the stuff you're learning. If you've seen a really cool case, talk to your attending about it. I saw a patient with a laryngomalacia. I think that's what it's called. And I thought it was really cool, so I talked to the attending about it, and we discussed the patient, and that's how we started to get to know each other, because the attending or whoever you're asking for a letter needs to know you on a personal level. They need to know what you're interested in, what your strengths are, what kind of student you are, what your work ethic is. So yeah, show them your work ethic. Show them that you're willing to, stay the extra 30 minutes that's needed, or stay back with the patient. Don't just be like, oh, it's 5, gotta go later, peace. No, don't do that. Stay with your patient till you've taken care of everything, and then you can go home. Those extra 5 minutes that you put in really shows the person writing the letter that you care about your patients, and that's something that needs to come through. One thing that I have been doing is that when you get your evaluations for the rotation, you can ask them for a letter of recommendation at that time, if you feel that they can write you a good letter. Something that I have heard other people, and from personal experience, is to ask if they can write you a strong letter. I think most people will tell you that they will or will not write you a strong letter, so that way you're not just getting a letter for the heck of it. You're getting something that has something great to say about you, because you want your letters to be outstanding and set you apart from other students. Just get to know them and try your best so that they get to know you, because the more they remember you, the more personal stories they can incorporate in the letter of recommendation, the better for you. The more it makes programs think that they actually know the person they're writing the letter for. So just ask if they can write you a strong letter. Also, something to think about is to start working on your CV, your curriculum vitae. Sorry if I butchered that, but that's how I think it's said. Or a resume. Just start working on something so that when you ask people to write you a letter, they have something to go by, just to give them a little history per se of what you've been doing, what kind, volunteer work, or like if you're part of any organizations and things like that. So it depends when you're asking for a letter. If you're asking a letter like the beginning of your 3rd year, you probably just give up your CV. Some people will tell you that they'll write a letter and upload it directly to ERAS, and to email them when you have an AAMC ID. Some people will write a letter right away. So if they write the letter right away, what you can do is have them send it directly to your school, and then your school uploads it. And then, at least for AUC, what you do is that you email the Office of Student Development, and they upload the letter to ERAS for you. And it takes about 2 weeks. For most students, it takes about 2 weeks. Some people, I guess it's taken 5 days, but somewhere between 5 to 14 days. But if they say that, oh, just email me when you have an AAMC ID, I'll upload it directly. At that point, what you'll have to do is that you will have to give them your personal statement, just a rough draft. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I think most people do realize that in June you're not going to have the personal statement done right away, because most people are studying for CK, for CS, and so on and so forth. But make sure your CV is really good. You want to make sure that you're giving them something that's exemplary, perfect, And once you get access to ERAS, what you do is that you go to the letter of recommendation tab, and then you put in their information, finalize them, and then you get a letter of request form. So you want to save that. So when you're emailing the person to get a letter of recommendation, you send them your letter of request form, your personal statement, and your CV, and whatever other information they want to see. Sometimes they want to look at your step scores. That hasn't happened to me, but I'm not saying it never happens. So we all know that ERAS goes online about September, this time of September 15th. Don't email them and so on September 1st asking for a letter. I mean, you could, but the best thing to do is start reminding them in June, and then July be like, all right, here's all my stuff. Would you mind writing me the letter? Let me know if you need anything from me. Just a gentle reminder. Don't be obnoxious and pushy and be like, hey, what's up in the letter? Don't email them like every day. But once a week, just to check in to see if they need anything else or if they're having any trouble with ERAS. Because sometimes ERAS goes down at like random times and they might have some trouble with it. But just check with them. And if they're having any trouble uploading the letter, they can send the letter to your school and then they can upload it for you. So yeah, these are just, some tips about getting a letter of recommendation. Just be honest and tell them what you're really interested in. Sometimes they'll write you a general letter, which is fine. And then sometimes they'll write you a specific letter. Another thing that I learned about ERAS through this whole process was that if, say, an attending writes you a specific letter saying that, oh, this person would be fabulous for neurology, ERAS actually lets you know that this is a specialty letter. So you don't assign it, say, for a family and be like, oops, I didn't mean to do that, So just ask them to write you a general letter if you want, or you can ask them for a specific letter. So yeah, these are just a few of my suggestions. Start early. Don't be that person on September 14th asking for a letter, because it does take a while. If the person writing the letter uploads it, it takes anywhere from 2 to 5 business days. And depending on how later it is in the game, it might take longer. I had a few letters that were uploaded within 2 days, and my last letter was uploaded 10 days, so it just depends. So yeah, start early and don't wait till the last minute. Like I said before, in my personal statement video, I said the same thing. Don't wait till the last minute. Start working ahead of time, so when it's time to submit the applications, you're not scrambling. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And we'll continue this series, and next time I'll talk about something else related to ERAS. Good luck, and bye. Have a wonderful day.